Video posted on social media of 4 female Chicago police officers attempting to arrest a suspected shoplifter has sparked backlash over the department's health and fitness standards. Footage shows the 4 Chicago police officers approaching the suspect as he emptied out his pockets when they start to detain him. The 4 officers pinned the suspect against a wall, but were still unable to get the handcuffs on him. Police scanner audio revealed one of the officers defeatedly asking for backup during the incident. She sounded out of breath.
Where's the 33 we got? That's the progress at Walgreens. He's went all day running up down on that street from 95th Street.
The video sparked outrage online, and commenters questioned if the fitness abilities of the officers limited their ability to arrest the man. What are your thoughts on this?
One of the main reasons why women shouldn't be cops or on the front line of war, 4 female cops failed to arrest one man who looks like a crackhead. As Kevin Samuels used to say, you cannot make this shit up.
Pass, pass, pass. Smash.
Before becoming the newest meme virally infecting everyone's social media feeds, former police officer Maegan Hall and 6 of her male officer associates would wind up being exposed for having had physical relations with one another in and around their workplace. Maegan is a 26-year-old woman whose full name is Maegan Olivia Hall, a petite blonde with one heck of a baby face, who, prior to this news story, was perhaps best known by the few hundred people who followed her TikTok account. Maegan is believed to have grown up in rural Tennessee and originally harbored dreams of one day becoming an actress. But rather than that, her life ended up taking a very different path when she wound up joining the Tennessee police force in her early 20s. On her path to becoming an officer of the law, Maegan met her future husband and son of a preacher, Jedediah Hall, while the two were in college. They fell in love and made a life together. As Maegan became a patrol officer, Jedediah went on to become a park ranger. Then in November of 2018, they tied the knot and bought a house together.
Did you notice the tattoo on her thigh? This is why I preach. If she has a tattoo, it's a red flag and represents at least 10 bodies to her body count. At 5 bodies, you'll have a 25% chance of having a successful marriage or relationship, so you do the math.
Shocking investigation finding sexual relationships, sending explicit photos, and open marriages involving Laverne police officers. The city's report, obtained by WSMV through an open records request, says it all centered around Officer Maegan Hall, who was given the department's Community Service Award just back in August. The report says Hall had unreported sexual relationships with 6 other officers, some of which happened while at work.
I love Facebook. I came across this post, and this is the only reason I even know about this fucking story. So then I was like, all right, let's go to the article that I saw in the comments. And here it is. Husband of Tennessee cop gone wild. Okay, first of all, the article is hilarious. I love this. Maegan Hall stands by his wife and tries to salvage their marriage after she was fired for having sordid sex romps. So, the way they worded this, I'm sorry. With 6 colleagues as she shrugs off the scandal and says it's time to move on. It's really hard to read this with a straight face. I'm trying. Her steamy sexcapades with 6 male officers have heaped disgrace on a small town Tennessee police department. Daily.com apparently tracked her down, and she says she doesn't want to discuss it. She's trying to move on with her life, and those are her first public comments since this happened. Here's one of the officers that at first denied that he was involved sexually, but then the investigators found out the truth. Numero dos. Here's another that they pictured, and a 4th that was pictured. I believe there was 2 more from what they stated, but these are all the pictures I believe that were on the article. At least one of them besides her was also married. It says at first he denied it, but then he came clean when it was discovered that they met up in December to compare notes. This whole story is wild.
As you see from the videos, today's article is about this fine lady. Actually, she even makes other fine ladies look bad. So anyway, this glorified modern woman who won a settlement for being an HOE, and we're going to take a look at it. Before we go on with the rest of the video, let me get to the comment of the day. Shout out to The Legacy of Gaming, who shared, "Every single day, women are complaining about something. When do they just sit down and shut up? Plus, they complain on the internet, which was made and maintained by men. It's a real joke out here, guys." So anyway, please don't forget to reach out to my email to claim your $5. As always, guys, I'll be checking out the comments and picking one from each video. It could be the funniest, the most liked, or just one that proved a really good point, so don't forget to leave a comment and you could be our next winner tomorrow. So be sure to hit that like and sub button too, as it helps out a ton, guys. So now let's get right back into the video.
Embrace your masculinity.
The title of today's article: ex-Tennessee cop Maegan Hall fired over XES trysts with 6 other cops, settles Fed lawsuit that will cost city whopping $500K. If you want proof how women have it easy, the title says it all. She opened her legs willingly and embarrassed the apartment, the city, and her family, and now she walks away with $500,000. To all the feminists who claim that men have it easy or there's such thing as male privilege, when's the last time you saw a dude get paid for sleeping with a female coworker at work? There's never been such a case. Matter of fact, men get fired on the spot if a woman feels uncomfortable. Yet there's countless numbers of females getting some type of settlement for workplace fun or workplace quote-unquote harassment. Let's get on with this beautiful article. A former Tennessee cop who got axed for her trysts with 6 other officers on the job has settled her federal civil lawsuit against her former employer for a whopping $500,000, according to reports. Shame on the New York Post for not calling it what it is. She got axed for being a 304 because that's what she is, and she's married as well. It's one thing if she's single doing this, but she's supposed to be with the love of her life. Yep, she let several men hit it for free, and that's what we know of. Even though she looks like a 2, she has that good girl look, so she can fly under the radar and get away with more than the average tatted, purple hair, bull-nose ring feminist. Continuing with the article. Maegan Hall, who claimed she was sex groomed by a cadre of male colleagues on the force, sued the city of Laverne last year after word of her raunchy romps made national headlines. And of course, she claimed to be the victim. This just goes to show that 304s will try to save their reputation no matter how obvious of a bedwench they are. This is why cheating with a female is super dangerous, because they will do anything to try to save face. Her argument is what you'd use for a kid or a teen, not a fully grown married adult. She's 28, by the way. I know women grow old, but they never grow up, so that's why she probably legit sees herself as a teen. So my question, why is she on the police force if she has the maturity of a teen? Aren't there psychological tests? Of course not. Feminism wants more foot soldiers on the police force.
It's a mindset the Metro Police Department hopes more women will have. Their goal, a 30% female police force. Last year, it was 11%. This year, it's 13%.
And is it even attainable?
I think we're definitely growing, so if we can just keep that momentum going, I believe that it is definitely attainable.
Commander Tiffany Gibson is Metro's first female director of training. She says among the biggest changes they've made to help attract recruits, especially women, no more physical ability tests. Now trainees must pass a physical agility test designed to mirror tasks in the field.
There's nothing inherently wrong with women joining the police force. I have no problem with that. It infuriates me that they're trying to lower the standards as well, right? I don't want you to lower the standards. I want my police officers to all be at the same level.
Continuing. On Wednesday night, the Laverne board voted 3-1 at a special meeting to settle the suit, WTVF News said. The Laverne Board of Mayor and Aldermen voted tonight to authorize the mayor to sign a settlement agreement between the city of Laverne and the former police officer Maegan Hall. City leaders wrote in a statement, according to the outlet. The agreement was negotiated between the attorneys representing the city and Hall. The statement said, the city's insurance provider will pay the sum of $500,000 to Hall as a gross settlement, which includes court costs, attorneys' fees, and expenses. I don't think the city will pay nothing. I think the rates will just go up. So instead of maybe using the money to improve the city, they'll have to waste more on insurance rates. This will incentivize more bedwenches to do the same plan. It may even be a single female cop who had a fling with another officer who, with this president, could claim she was pressured to do it so she can fit in with the so-called boys club. You know, the typical feminist BS. You'd be surprised what type of misconduct goes on in the corporate world as is.
Too many to choose from, my friend. I have broken up threesome sex rings at a company. I have broken up somebody having an affair with the CEO's wife and everybody knew but the CEO. I've seen the CEO get a woman pregnant while still dating another woman in the office. Had someone retaliate against an employee and show pictures of their private parts and put them up all over the employee screens that were across all the lunchrooms in the company. Yeah, that was a fun one. Oh, and there was that time that HR got pregnant having an affair with the head of technology with twins while both the others were married. You know, the list it's simply too long.
Back into the article. The city denies any admission of liability and no taxpayer funds will be spent to settle this lawsuit. Hall, 28, made national headlines last year after her station house sexcapades went public, including affairs with her supervisor, Sergeant Lewis Powell, and others. According to an internal investigation, Hall hooked up with several colleagues, sent them nude pictures, and went topless in a Girls Gone Wild themed hot tub party, and even performed oral SCX on 2 cops while on duty. Again, this is probably the tip of the iceberg. I wouldn't be surprised if she was like a glory hole for all the officers, and the husband is a massive cuck and simp. Maybe he's the biggest loser of it all, to still stand by her.
Now, just in case you think Maegan was keeping her husband totally in the dark about what was going on, apparently he at least had an inkling in regards to what she was up to. After all, according to the report, in the spring of 2022, Maegan tried to coax him into sleeping with another married couple, one of whom was an officer she worked with. In fact, while out at a party with Maegan, Jedediah walked into the room to find her passionately swapping spit with her coworker's wife, but he just as quickly left, upset with what he had seen. Before that happened, the other officers involved in the scandal had reportedly been under the impression that Maegan was in an open relationship. But after seeing her husband's reaction firsthand, they began to realize, well, that was not the case. Not that it let it stop some of them from continuing to spend private time with Maegan, though.
And you see how she lied into cheating? She claimed she and her husband were in an open relationship. Unless if you hear it directly from the man's mouth, it's okay to smash his wife. It's a lie, and it's better to move on. Continuing. She also allegedly had a threesome with one of the cops and his wife, according to the city's report. Dude tainted his own wife with an experience with a certified HOE. Because remember, she's been with at least several men at the department that we know of, and who knows how many females each of those officers were with, and so on. And another thing I want to mention, anytime a female claims she has had a bi experience, firstly, that means she's been sleeping around the block enough to finally get curious about what an experience with another female is like, meaning she's numb to regular SCX already. But secondly, this is how many Deceptivots categorize a threesome, by claiming it's a bi experience. Technically, they did have a bi experience, but the 304s are leaving out the part where they get piped down. Which proves again, when modern women involuntarily admit something, it's usually to hide a bigger lie.
Listen, fellas, the number one reason why women lie about their body count is because if you knew the real number, you wouldn't cuff her up. You wouldn't make her your girlfriend. You wouldn't make her your wife. Women know if she tell you her true body count, you'll have sex with her, but you ain't gonna make her yours. So if a woman was, honest and she said, I got 60 or 70 bodies, in my male mind, I'ma automatically think, oh, this a hoe right here. Let me go ahead and get in there and get out. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Stick and move, goddammit. So women lie about their body count so they can basically have a placeholder, a boyfriend. So you can be looking stupid as her boyfriend while she go and sleep around behind your back. Don't do it, and don't ask a woman her body count. She gonna lie to you.
Continuing with the article. The hanky-panky cost several of the male cops their jobs, including Powell. The shocking investigation report included findings that then Police Chief Burl Chip Davis, who was fired over the scandal, not only knew about Hall's hookups but joked about the situation with others in the city. And this is a lesson to the men. Don't date where you work, because it's easier to fire you than actually hold the female accountable. That's your livelihood, and trying to court modern women at work is like defusing a bomb. If you read her wrong, she'll accuse you of something, and you'll automatically get fired. No questions asked. Then you'll be jobless and on your ass.
Do not date your coworkers or people you work with. Look, I've never dated anybody I've worked with in my life, and it's a policy of mine. It will save you from a lot of grief. The second that relationship goes south, all bets are off. It can lead to a lawsuit. It will destroy any progression you have within the organization. It will make it very uncomfortable for yourself and the person you were dating, and also the people in the office around you. So when you're playing with fire, it's likely to backfire.
Back to the article. Who dat? Davis allegedly said when shown a vulgar photo of Hall by another cop. Ty McGowan, the investigation found. Hall, Lewis, Powell, McGowan replied. He on it again, the chief quipped. The ex-top cop also joked about a 13-minute video that allegedly showed Hall fingering herself, which was shared among some of the male cops inside the department. Yeah, this female was definitely the town HOE. Makes you wonder if someone evaded the law so she can have more risky bedroom fun. Her bucket list is basically a nut bucket.
Were there female cops working here too?
Yeah, 100%.
What are they like? Are they surviving on this yard?
Yes. Yeah. And again, not to do a blanket statement. It's very important that I make it clear that there's no stereotypes or blanket statement, right? Because I've seen it all. Good female COs, bad female COs, dirty, corrupt female COs that are having sex with the inmates in prison.
And that happens all the time, all across the country.
All the time, bro. It does happen all the time.
Why do you think they do that?
For me to say it doesn't happen all the time would be inaccurate.
Yeah.
It happens all the fucking time, bro.
Why do they want to risk their jobs and whatnot to do that?
I can't understand that. I can't fathom it. I would only imagine it's the whole bad boy image. I don't know, bro. I've been studying girls all my life, man.
What have you found out? Anything good?
Yeah, they're all the same. They're all the fucking same, bro. And I've been married for 17 years, bro. They're all the same, meaning like they don't know what they want. They think they know what they want, right? It's like it's hot or cold, bro. I think we're like cavemen, right? They're always chasing that alpha. They're always chasing the biggest, the baddest. They say they want a nice guy, but they treat nice guys like shit. I mean, you know this. We see it over and over again. That's why, you know, the bad boys, girls like bad boys. And that's the only thing that I can imagine why they're sleeping with these inmates. They like the thrill. I never particularly asked when, hey, you know, fuck it. Because what's crazy is that you have these female COs that are hooking up with all the COs. And they're fucking the inmates, too.
It's a fucking orgy going on. A prison orgy.
Yeah, man, but you don't want to be like, God damn, like you don't want, imagine thinking you're like, yeah, I'm fucking this chick, but God damn it, she's fucking the inmates too. Like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Kind of make you feel dirty, you know what I mean? No disrespect, but I just told you they eat out of the toilet at times or wash their clothes or pee sitting down.
Yeah.
But hey, she don't discriminate and fucking everybody can get it.
Continuing with the article. In her lawsuit, Hall claimed that her encounters began with an affair with Powell and led to others in the department targeting her until she gave in to their advances. I know what most people are saying, she said during her first public comments about the scandal in March 2023. You know, you could have said no, I get it. But my response to them is I did say no and Powell wouldn't take that for an answer. Eventually, I gave in from pressure. That's a load of BS. Females, especially today, don't do it with anyone they don't want to. She's just addicted to the new schlong because she's not domesticated. They're all just swinging schlongs to her. I'd be shocked if she didn't view her husband the same way as any random man. Modern women are actually more likely to misuse their position of power. This is why most women admit they'd rather work for male bosses. Here's a rookie female cop who admits on camera to being above the law.
PSA to everyone out there. I'm speaking for myself, but I'm probably speaking for a large majority of other officers out there. If we're driving on the freeway in our police car, get the out of the way. Get the out of the way. If you merge and we follow behind you and we merge too, you're probably in trouble. The best way to find that out is get the out of the way. I can go 90 miles an hour. You can't. You can't do that. So get the out of the way. If us officers stay behind you long enough, we can find a reason to pull you over. So you might as well get the out of the way. Super simple. That's all. You're welcome.
Back to the article. Hall's lawyer, Wesley Clark, said last year that the young ex-cop never had a chance. Maegan wasn't looked at like a rookie cop to be trained and promoted, Clark said. She was looked at like a piece of meat to be exploited.
If any of you shared memes making fun of this woman, you should be fucking ashamed of yourself.
A woman? I thought she was a conductor.
It's all BS. She, like 99% of women, shouldn't be cops in the first place. But they have a point. This is why you don't want to date a career lady, because she might use SEX to barter for a promotion or advance in the career field. This stereotype of sleeping to the top isn't there for a reason. And what it says is that she'd rather trade her loyalty and purity for some career success. If this doesn't give you another reason to avoid modern women or career women, nothing will.
Is reading here.
It took less than 5 minutes.
No.
Alderman Hobbs?
Aye.
Alderman Hobbs?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Nutt?
Aye.
Motion passes.
For the Laverne City leaders to say yes, they'll pay former police officer Maegan Hall $500,000.
What message does that send to all the other employees?
Alderman Dennis Waldron was the only dissenting vote.
He's sending a message out to everybody in the world, said, come to Laverne, sue Laverne because they're going to settle.
The city as a whole now agreeing to pay Hall, but denying any admission of liability.
It's hard being in the minority.
This after the story of the Laverne police sex scandal exploded early last year, revealing a pattern of inappropriate activity inside the department. Reports detail sex between officers on duty and on city property, intimate photos and videos shared among officers, and silence from the police chief, who was clued into what was happening.
Convince her to engage in sexual activity that she didn't want to.
Hall and her lawyer claim it was a hostile work environment that groomed her.
While I was aspiring to protect my community, the Laverne Police Department was not protecting me.
She, along with 4 other officers and the police chief, were fired. Hall talked to News Channel 5 about the affair early last year.
I know what most people are saying. You know, you could have said no. I get it. But my response to them is that I did say no, and he wouldn't take it for an answer. Eventually, I gave in from pressure.
Wednesday's vote ends both Hall's lawsuit against the city and against 3 of her former superiors in the department.
This is the sad reality of the feminist West we live in, that females can extort businesses or small governments because it's cheaper to pay out than actually go to trial. Let's read the comments of the video. Top comment, yeah, no, she was part of the group having fun, not buying her victimhood for a second. Her victimhood is just trying to evade accountability of sleeping around. Because that's what she did. She's untrustworthy, and eventually that money is gonna run out, so I hope she'll never be able to get any good job. A comment from a female. So now Maegan is a victim? She is grown and should take responsibility for her actions. It's funny how it works. Strong and independent till there's a benefit. Then these feminists are a dame in distress. Another comment. Her husband needs to divorce her and get his half. I hope he does, because dude might be a bigger loser than the city, which paid out $500,000 to the 304. And they have kids. Those kids are going to be shamed for the rest of their life. Their mom is the poster child for 304 memes. I don't know how he can look at himself in the mirror after knowing his wife was a hole for his coworkers. Maybe he's a real cuck, because I just don't get it. Overall, now you know why men are giving up in the West and even becoming a passport bro by fully moving to other countries, especially traditional ones. The West is done for show. As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember that if you leave the best comment, you'll get $5. Thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads, drop a comment, and share it. See you in the next video. Till next time.